Good evening, everyone. This is Malcolm Peters for our Sunday evening GPG team call. The time at the moment is just coming up to a minute before 7 o'clock in the United Kingdom. And have we had an interesting change of weather? I arrived here, it was raining, and now we have blizzards of snow outside. So things have been quite different. 7 o'clock in the United Kingdom. I'm just going to quickly just mute my YouTube on the other channel. As you come online, please introduce yourselves, your first name to where you're calling from. We're going to get the call started in around a minute and a half's time. I know that there's a bit of a lag between the time that we speak and you see it on YouTube as well. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name's Malcolm Peters. I'm calling in from West London, a place called Hounslow, not too far from Heathrow Airport in the west of London. And this call is designed really to do several things. It's part of the fabric of the training and infrastructure that we've got for an organization called Global Partners Group, GPG. I've been working with this now for 2 years. I'm very excited to be. I've just come back from a fantastic trip in Jordan, and I'm looking forward to the guest that I've got today. I'm going to start with that again. Should I press that? No, I'm not going to do that. It's a live call. A lot of great guests are calling in from around the world today. So as you come online, please introduce yourselves, your first names, where you're calling from. We've got Jean-Claude Salil. Hi, Jean-Claude. Welcome to the call from France. We've got Zaid. Hi, Zaid. Zaid Jihad. Great name. People freak out when I tell them I've got a jihad friend from Jordan. Welcome to the call. We got Gert. Gert, welcome to the call from Belgium. Fabulous. Great to have you online. Colleen Ferguson, welcome to the call from Florida today. I didn't know you were in Florida today. So she's actually from Canada in Florida today. Good friend of mine. Emil Alston, welcome to the call from South Africa. Fabulous having you online. And welcome to the call from Greece. As you come online, I'm going to give you 35 seconds, 40 seconds. Anyone else that joins us, please introduce yourselves, your first names, and where you're calling from. Just a little bit of house order, basically. If you're going to have conversations, I'd like you to have conversations right at the end of the call. If you've got any questions or points for clarification, please leave them, because I really want this call to be something that's going to be useful for all of you watching it today and in the future as well. Get paper, pen. I hope you have coffee and tea or something stronger. You probably need it by the end of this call. And you really enjoy the information that's been shared with you. The call is going to be hosted by myself, but I have guests calling in from all over the world. And tonight, it is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce you all to a fabulous guest who's come online. I'm going to keep that under wraps for 20 seconds more as I introduce a few more people. Natalia, welcome to the call from London. Great to have you online. Tula, welcome to the call from Cyprus. We've also got Anne, we just introduced her from Greece as well. I want to get the call started now, so get myself a nice deep breath, because I need to really build up my next guest. My next guest, or my first guest on this call today, on the 18th of March 2018, is someone that I've known for a very long time. Every time I talk about it, I feel quite ancient, because it's like 28, actually 30 years now that I've known this lady. Fabulous, fabulous networker. Is an iconic, iconic individual in the world of network marketing. One of the founders of Global Partners Group. We've got a friendship that stretches back decades, and she has been one of the most successful lady entrepreneurs in network marketing in the history of network marketing. When I first met her, just a few years after I met her, she built a team with her partner, Kathy Robbins, of over 200,000 people across Europe. And she started off by knowing just a few people. It is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce you all to my friend, my mentor, and our diamond director, founder of Global Partners Group, Paula Pritchard, calling in from Florida in America. Paula.
Great. Thank you, Malcolm. That was very, very nice. Thank you very much. You know, I was just, when you were there talking, I was just thinking about when I used to live in England. I lived there for a year, and we had some kind of formal company event we had to go to. And I actually went to Hounslow to find something, and I ended up going to a shop and bought, is the Indian dresses in Hounslow, is those a sari? Now picture me in one of those. But anyway, that's what I got. And then when we got to the event, I didn't really feel that it was the right thing to wear, so I made Laura Carter wear it. So she wore it, but it was beautiful. But anyway, hi everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Malcolm and all the people on the panel here, because it's his initiative in setting this up, and it's all your contributions that make this such a successful call, and such a supportive call to our team around the world. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, because these events are critical to building a business. But I wanted to talk about 4 things, but they really come under one title, I guess, which would be simplicity. Because I learned a long time ago that it was critical to make this business so simple that anyone could do it, that anyone could actually not have to learn to be an expert. They didn't have to be an expert, but they could learn how to do this. And one of the things that we've always referred to in telling people about the business is being a storyteller. And I've kind of been on the topic of storytelling probably I get kind of on purpose on one topic, and I kind of stay with it because it drives me. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been really into the storytelling into the business because, you know, you're not the message, you are the messenger. And you always have to remember that. And as a messenger, you're telling a story. And one of the things I recently told people is that I believe you can show the business to someone the very same day you see it. In other words, if you see the business, you can go out, somebody says, well, I don't know how to explain it, I don't know how to present it. It doesn't matter because it's not a regular presentation, it's a story. And in that story, you manage to incorporate a few things like the company, the product, the money, maybe even the marketplace. But you incorporate those into the story. But, you know, for example, if I just saw the business today, I could probably leave that presentation. I could pick up the phone and call a friend of mine and says, I just saw something. It looks like there's a lot of money. I can't explain it. I don't even remember it. I can't even remember the name of the company, but I know it starts with a J, and I think it's in Disney World in Florida and somewhere around Disney World. But all I know is that there's this company, and they have these products that make you look younger and feel younger. And I can't tell you what they all are because I don't know them all. But I'm so excited, and I saw people making lots of money, and I think we could make lots of money. You got to see this thing just like me. You know what we call that? We call that ignorance on fire versus knowledge on ice. I've seen people who won't show the business initially. And, you know, there will be people who hear that from you, and they're going to say, well, she doesn't know much of anything, but I'm going to go see what she's all excited about. So it's almost like they want to come and watch you burn, you know, because you are ignorance on fire. And so consequently, you know, when people know that they don't have to be perfect and that they can just kind of share their excitement, people feel the excitement. You know, it's the energy that you are able to emit. You know, how you feel, what kind of energy are you giving out? You don't have to have all the words, right? Because people are going to feel that energy and they're going to want to know more. And of course, the second time, if you put them on a call with the person that introduced you, and we call that a three-way call, or if you take them somewhere to hear about the business, you're going to hear about it again. And if you're smart, you'll tape it. And then the next time you call somebody, you're going to say, the company's called Jeunesse. It has something to do with some kind of youth and friends or something. And it's in Florida. And they have this one product you squirt in your mouth. It's like 186 bottles of wine, but it's really makes your it's really good and for your cells and everything. And then they have this that you put on your skin and it helps make you look younger. And I mean, this one that goes under your eye. Wait till I tell you about that one. You know, in 2 minutes, you look 10 years younger. And so the more you listen to it, the more you will learn, and your story gets better and better and better. I would rather have someone like that than someone who goes out there and has to have the perfect presentation, have to have the everything in order. And, you know, I speak from experience because I'm a teacher. So I wanted the presentation to be right. In fact, once I learned the presentation, I wanted to rearrange it because I thought I could do everything better. And, you know, it was very frustrating because I wasted a lot of time in this business because I didn't follow the people who were succeeding. I was trying to reinvent the wheel. But I remember when I first went to England to share the business opportunity. I met Malcolm, and I would do the presentation, and I was a perfectionist because I thought everything had to be perfect, and I would do it so perfectly that I could never get anyone else to do the presentation. And I'll never forget. I had a colleague come over who was also very successful in my company, and he said to me, he says, "Paula, if there's one thing wrong with you, you're too good. You know, people don't want to follow you because they're afraid they'll not be as good." I realized that I had become the issue, which is something I want to talk about in a second. I had become the issue, you know, and so once I realized that, I actually purposely would be more lax with the presentation. I would make other people get up and do the presentation, and I learned from that, I wasn't going to duplicate myself. When I was in my first network company, I can remember that I was going to go on a yacht trip that I had earned with the company. And I told people at a meeting I was doing, and they said, okay, I have a doctor to bring, but I'm going to wait till you get back before I bring them. See, they didn't have confidence that anyone could show the presentation as well as me. So what I had done, as I had not built a business that could survive without me, I had built a business that revolved around me. So I was the issue, totally. The other thing I want to talk about for a second is events, because I know that there are people who actually build their entire business around events. They don't feel they're very good at presenting. They don't feel they're very good at getting somebody started a business. So they just take them to events all the time. I know that sounds crazy, but see, events are a place where you have all these storytellers all in one location. Think about it. An event could be a home meeting. It could be a meeting in a meeting room at a restaurant, like you have an executive luncheon. It could be a meeting room at a hotel. It could be a convention center. It could be any place where there's a group of people. And what happens at that event is somebody, talks about the business. Somebody talks about the products. Somebody talks about how the money's made. And then what happens is there's testimonial. So people say, this is how I felt on the product, or this is what's happened to me since I've been in the business. So, if you imagine taking people to events like that all the time, as many as you can, let the event actually sell your person on it, because they're going to end up relating to someone who is just like that. Let me give you an example. I sponsored a guy who was a coach, a basketball coach. I could not get him off square one, and he had so much charisma. He was so good. I kept asking him to come to an event. He kept turning me down. Finally, I insisted. I took him to an event. At that event, there was a testimonial by a young man, and the testimonial happened to be a young man that had previously been a high school student on the basketball team for this coach. And I have to tell you, this kid was making more than the basketball coach was. That, I couldn't have picked a better event. But I have seen, the coach started right at that moment. He got mad and decided, I'm going to build this business. But had I not got him at the event, that wouldn't have happened. I can't be the end all for everyone. Everyone I sponsor, I can't expect I'm going to be the one that's going to make a difference in their lives. I'm going to be the one that flips on the light bulb. I'm going to be the one that gets them to see the big picture and gets them going in the business. I have to be willing to take them and let them hear other people, because they're going to relate to somebody. If they're an engineer, maybe they'll hear another engineer. If they're a homemaker, maybe they'll hear another homemaker. But if I don't take them to the events, all they have to look at is me, and it's not enough. The other thing I want to say, and I want to come back to, is not to be the issue. If you are the issue of your business, you've got your ego in the way, because you have got to get yourself out of there, because this is a business of duplication. Let me tell you how I used to duplicate the business. If I did a home meeting, I would sponsor someone. I'm going to do a home meeting. I'd make them introduce me. I do the presentation. We'd sponsor someone. We'd have a meeting at their house. They would do the introduction. The person I had originally sponsored would do the first part of the presentation, maybe the company. Then they'd pass it on to me. And as we started to get people sponsored, I'd give them all parts in the presentation. But I always kept me last, because if anywhere along the way they forgot or they needed to turn the presentation over, they could always throw it over to me. And it wouldn't, no one would be the wiser. But I had to learn how to duplicate. And I try so hard to try to keep myself from being the issue, because it's so easy for people to try to make me the issue. But all I do is I end up making a business that's dependent on me. You need to have other people showing the business. You need to have other people doing the trainings and involved in the trainings. And, even if they make a mistake, it's so good, because I realize that when people make a mistake, it gives everyone else in the audience permission to do the business and to do the presentation, because now they feel they don't have to be perfect. Look at Susie, man, she really blew it. But now I can get up there and nobody's going to laugh at me or think different of me or whatever. So, you cannot build a business around yourself, because you might as well be in a direct sales business where you're the total only salesperson in it. You have to be able to transfer the information, put your people up there no matter how they're shaking. I made one guy do the presentation, I'll never forget, in Manchester, England. And it reminded me of the movie Network, where the guy is, he's the commentator on this news program, and he's so scared he's perspiring and it's dripping off his face. And this guy, he stood up there. I'll never. His name was Bill Hurley. I'll never forget. I'm watching him do the presentation. All of a sudden, it's like his blue shirt is turning darker and darker and darker and darker. And I'm sitting there just, oh my gosh, I was laughing. And you know, but he was so good. And I was so proud of him. And everybody knew he was nervous, but it didn't matter because this has to be a business. Can you walk away from your business? If you're sick, if you have other issues, does your business come to a standstill because you have become the issue? I mean, that shouldn't happen. Your business should be able to go on without you. Even if you're gone for a week, if you're gone for a month, your business should be able to go on without you. You can't afford to be the issue in your business. And so I just wanted to mention that. I also wanted to share with you one last thing, and that kind of fits into all of these, and it has to do with Momentum. And I want to tell you that we are relaunching Momentum, and we're doing it over the next couple weeks. You're going to see videos coming out. But you know, we have in one area of Momentum, we have a recruiting platform, and that recruiting platform has presentation, has product information, has demonstrations like an Instantly Ageless. It'll have product testimonials, lifestyle testimonials, how to get started fast or fast start, and it'll have the GPG, the GPS promo for global. And you know, it's going to put all the recruiting right there. We're updating a number of the trainings. We're adding more trainings. I'm getting so many testimonials sent in here. It's so fantastic. But I'll tell you why I love this system. I love this system because when somebody if I sponsor someone today, I can do a fast start training. I can even video it or whatever. But if I do a fast start training, then if I'm doing them live, I have to do them again and again because new people are constantly coming in every day. And it used to be so frustrating to me because I could never be sure the fast training was done properly all the way through. And I couldn't watch everyone. I couldn't do everyone. But on this, we have about 20 videos that are fast start videos. So when somebody gets involved, they get on it right away. They watch the first 20 videos, the fast start videos, and then the sponsor knows they've been through it because they get a notification. It's an affordable platform. And we've realized that it's been very detrimental not to have it going in our business. And we kind of put everything on hold because we couldn't get it in all the languages. And now we've decided, screw it. We're going to go as quick as we can. If you speak English, you're on it. They're running a promo in Africa, 60% discount. They're running a promo also in North America, the first 2 months free. You're going to see a lot of videos come out. But here's the best part. We are going to, on April 3rd, launch an April 30-day sponsoring blitz. And we're going to introduce a recruiting system that'll help you recruit like crazy over that 30 days. And we're real excited about it. It's a step-by-step system. We want to tell you right now, but we don't want to blow it, but you're going to hear a lot of videos leading up to it over the next 2 weeks. And then we're going to launch it April 3rd after Easter. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to have a big meeting that night. And we're going to share with you this step-by-step recruiting system on how it'll be a no-brainer. You don't have to be an expert to be able to recruit with it. We're going to show you exactly how to get someone's interest, how to answer their questions and get them in the business. It's going to be idiot-proof. I'm so excited about it. And so I want you to stay tuned. You're going to start, as of Tuesday, you're going to start to see some build-up videos about it. But I think this system, we're the only one in Jeunesse that has it. I believe it's going to set us apart from other organizations in Jeunesse. And I just think what we're putting together right now is going to be high and far above what we had before. And I thought what we had before was fantastic. So with that, thank you for having me on, Malcolm. I just love you. And I just think this is the greatest call to have every week. And I so appreciate you taking the lead in it. So with that, back to you.
Thank you very, very much for that, Paul. And I think it's amazing because after all these years, and I keep getting the years wrong, it's not 27 or 30, I think it's 20 actually, but somehow in my mind, I've got 27 years, whatever. It feels a lot longer, and I'm very, very happy for every single year that I think in my head, because I thought, hang on a minute, 2000 and 217, so it doesn't matter. But I think it's amazing because what you share is several things that people need to understand. And I love this because I haven't heard this, or probably have heard it, but have never really written it down. And you say, ignorance on fire or knowledge on ice. Very, very powerful, because that's exactly the trap that everybody falls into. They all want to be perfect. They want to make sure they've got the right PowerPoint. They must know every product. And you're so right. Really what it's about. It's actually the people talking to people, ignorance on fire, people just saying, I've just seen the most incredible business, lots of money. I can't explain it all to you, but I've got a video. I've got someone you can talk to. I can take you somewhere. I really, really like that. And that's important. And I've always said, it's the music in your voice that people hear. It's not the melody of your song. If you're on fire and you really are excited by what you're talking about or what you've seen when you talk to somebody, it's like when you've seen a great movie or you've been to a great restaurant, you're telling people you really got to have a look at this. It's fantastic. People can feel it. They can feel that excitement. I think that's such a great, great piece of information as well. And really what it's also she's mentioned, that Paula has mentioned, and this is someone who's built organizations of over 200,000 with her partner, Kathy. It's got to be something that doesn't revolve around you, but it's got to be able to be organic. In other words, when you walk away, it actually is able to duplicate. It's so important. System, duplication, multiplication. You're not going to get any better teacher. And I'm now really curious to find out what this new system is.
I want to say one more thing, Malcolm, and that is there's a saying in network marketing over the years. It's called show the thing that shows the thing, or share the thing that shares the thing. And that takes the personality out of it. That takes the person out of it. So if you have videos, that'll show it for you. If you have events, it'll show it for you. It just allows you to grow so much faster.
Absolutely. And I think what I've always said is that, you know, we want really a way to find a system that does the telling and the selling for you. And modern technology, when Paul and I built this business, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have these fantastic tools that everyone's got, like social media, to work with as well. And what I'm talking about, what's happening as far as social media is concerned, and this call is part of that, is we've got the USA, London, France, Belgium, Holland, Jordan, India, South Africa, Greece, and I'm quite sure as we start developing this call further, we should really have a global reach. And I'm absolutely confident that we will have over 100 countries on this call by the end of this year. Absolutely fantastic contribution from yourself, our Diamond Director and former founder of Global Partners Group, Paula Pritchard. My next guest actually fits in perfectly to what Paul has been covering right now. And it's a lovely lady. I've not met her yet, but I've heard that when Sharon, Lindy, and Lisa get together, we have a couple of shots of tequila when we meet up in June, because I'm actually going there in June. I've been told they're going to corrupt me, but I'm not too sure about that. But I really love these ladies. I think they're absolutely fantastic. They really are walking the walk. No experience between them in this industry. They've never done it before. Sapphires in the making, about to go Sapphire Elite, and Ruby as well. My next guest is Lindy, calling in from South Africa. And what she's going to talk to you about is, if I can get it over here. Sorry about it. I wrote all the notes down, Lindy. I've got my notes mixed up with Paula over there. She's going to talk about you don't need to know everything. Absolutely perfect to follow Paula Pritchard. Lindy, calling in from South Africa. Hi, Lindy.
Hi, Malcolm. Thank you. And thank you, Paula, for all the amazing information that you shared. I'm going to add to that. You know, I've never done network marketing before, so I want to give you a comparison. When a baby is born and it takes its first breath, you know, they don't know how to walk, how to play, how to talk, but yet they fall in love with mom and dad, and they look up to them in the sense of the word to teach them how to speak, how to crawl, how to walk, how to run, you know, to their friends who's 2 years old, you know, how to be naughty, how to be everything, because they don't know any other way. Now, if you take this into your business, you fell in love with either the products, the opportunity that was presented to you, or the dream, the storytelling, as Paula said. And that is why you joined and you bought your own business. But you don't know how to do this. You said in a presentation that it was a business overview for 40 minutes. You heard what everyone had to say about the products, the opportunity, the story. And yet you ask yourself, how will I do this? How will I be able to say what these people are saying? And that is where your passion comes in and your education. You need to educate yourself. It can be a bit overwhelming if you know, go through your products and everything like that on, you know, at the presentation. But everyone started the business some point in time at the same point in the beginning. Now, what do you get when you join, Janice? You know, you get a team of people who support you, who edifies you, and who believes in you because you believed in yourself. And that's why you joined the business. You get encouragement, you get upliftment, motivation, training, marketing tools. And all these are from people that have been in the industry for a long time, even a short period of time, from people who are earning seven figures, you know, a 7-figure income, people on the way to the top that has been through the trial and error process. And every one of us are still learning every single day. If you're not learning something new, you're doing something wrong. You know, Paula herself has been in the industry for over 35 years. And she also started where I started, where Malcolm started, in the beginning. And as she said, you know, it's very funny. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. You know, everything is given to you by Janice and GPG on a golden plate. This is about duplication. This is about self-development. This is not a 1 month or a 1 year project that you signed up for. This is a 3 to 5 year plan. Now, before you say it doesn't work, ask yourself, have you searched for the answer? Have you asked for help? Have you been to an event? Have you been on the training calls, the universities, the expos, even on social media, Facebook, the leads, the expos, they are streamed live from the various countries where they are in. You know, you need to educate yourself on the products, on everything, but you don't need to know everything to start. As Paula said, bring someone to an event. That's the way that I learned the first year in my business. I went to every single event. I went onto every webinar. I Googled, YouTubed, everything, because I want to know more. That this must be a passion. This must be a drive for you to get somewhere. You know, and as my accountability partner, Sharon, you know, says, we all have a different level of understanding of knowing what you know and what I know. And to get to a point to know something, you need to attend the trainings and everything. When someone asks you something, I always say to my people, don't say you don't know. Tell them you will get back to them with the best information possible, and then go and search for a video, a product sheet, whatever it is you may need. Ask the questions, but educate yourself about the business. This is your responsibility. Use the products so that you can start telling a story. Become a product of the product. This is your journey. And you decided to join this business for a reason. So get yourself out there, get yourself seen, and from me, enjoy the journey, live in the moment, and love with passion. Thank you, Malcolm.
Excellent. Thank you, Lindy. So many important things that you've mentioned that really fit in with what Paula said as well, because it's a trap that everybody falls into. You know, we have two things that really stop people's growth in this business. One is called excusatitis. It's called the failure disease. There's an excuse for every reason why you can't make it work. And the other one we've talked about today is that everyone tries to become perfect. They think that by being a great speaker, being able to present it perfectly, making sure they've got all the tools is what's going to make you really successful in this business. In Jordan, I told people, and I've got several who join me online today, they'll tell you in the trainings, I tell them, I don't want you to be perfect. Paula will tell you, when we were in the Amway business many years ago, we carried a pack of cards, and like a little, the little postcards. And we actually wrote on that postcard what each part of the presentation was. We knew that presentation inside out. But at every presentation we went to, we would go through this deck of cards and read it. And the reason we did that was someone in the audience could sit there and think, oh, I could read, I can do that. That's why we have PowerPoints. That's why we have many of the tools that we've got in Global Partners Group. We need to make this so simple. A 13-year-old can press buttons, push play, lead people to the information. What we do in this business is we guide people through an information gathering process. That's our role. Our role is guide. That's all we do. We're not in the convincing business. We're not trying to sell them anything. We want them to be judge and jury. We want them to decide whether they see the opportunity here or not. You're only going to get 3 results. One is no. They don't like the product. They don't like the business. That's fine. Not everybody likes the color yellow. Not everybody likes donuts. Second, they're going to say, I love the product. I'd like to try the product out. That's how we get customers. And we get customers by presenting everything in its entirety to everybody whenever we can. It's all in the show, as Paula always says. And third, we get someone so fired up. Like we've had a young lady that I really like. I met her recently at one of our meetings. I can remember her full name right now, but she sat there. Her eyes were aglow like that. She didn't understand 90%. She said, there's a lot of money here. I know there is. I can feel it. I want in. What do I do next? So you're going to find people who want to join the business as well. My next guest is going to be talking to you about something I think is very important. We live in this social media world. I haven't built on social media because I've built on social media, but I don't understand social media is what I'm trying to put across to you. Never used Instagram. I thought Snapchat is for stupid little pictures and little masks until I found out in Jordan, everybody's on Snapchat and they put their videos and information on Snapchat. So I need a lot to learn. And Sharon is one of the trio in South Africa that I am very, very fond of. 3 individuals, Liesl, Sharon, and Lindy, who have gone out there with no experience and are really, really stomping ground, scorching earth, and teaching people how to walk the walk, as it were. They've walked the walk, they've talked the talk, and now she's here to share with you how to brand yourself. I'd like you all to listen very carefully to Sharon, calling in from South Africa. Sharon. You're muted.
Hi.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. Hi, Malcolm. How are you doing? Thank you very, very much once again, for inviting me on one of these calls. I'd just like to clarify, everybody loves yellow and I love donuts. So what I wanted to chat today about is personal branding. Myself and Lindy, actually, we attended an event, a ladies' entrepreneurship event last week, and it was so motivating and so eye-opening in terms of what the women spoke about. They usually have about 2 speakers that kind of give you a little bit of background on themselves, their journey through entrepreneurship, the different types of business that they're all out there, and the support that women are kind of doing. And the topic for the day or for the evening was personal branding. And the first lady got up and she said, it's funny enough, when somebody asks you, what is personal branding? What is it? And she said, she thought about it a while, and somebody actually said to her, personal branding is what people say when you're not in the room. And she says, how do I approach that person and say, what do you say about me when I'm not in the room? It's what people say about you when you're not there. And, I think that's quite an important thing to, a topic to discuss. And when we are in a business that is so out there and we are trying to attract people to ourselves and to do business with, we've got to think of how we brand ourselves in the market. What is personal branding? Personal branding is a practice of marketing themselves and your career. And in doing that, as Jeanette, that is our vehicle. That is our business. That is who we represent. Now as Sharon, I need to represent myself for somebody to be attracted to me and why somebody wants to buy from me or do business with me or learn from me. And I think it's very, very important. And, it's not a new practice. These are things that people are assessing a person, your reputations, your values. And, Lindy actually said to me today, it was funny, on the phone, and I kind of gave her what I was going to talk about. And she said to me, on a personal basis, people know me as a ladybug. Everything about me, I am the biggest ladybug. I have, Liesl sends me pictures from all over. I have many friends from all around the world that'll send me a picture of a ladybug. I spot them, I see them, they land on me, they are everywhere. They are just, I am created. I've even got a tattoo of a ladybug. All of these things, I can literally look around my room here and they are everywhere. So that is my personal branding and who I am as a person. Now I've had to step in something different. How do I brand my business personal journey? And I've kind of stopped and I've looked around and I've thought, So I'm a ladybug, I look at Lindy as she's got bees, you see flamingos, Liesel's got those types of things. How do I now brand myself on a business point of view? You've got GPG. Okay, so that is our branding as a company and what we've joined. Then you've got like yourself, Malcolm, your personal branding is your look good and feel good. Everybody knows it. When you see that GG kind of come up on pictures, that's your personal branding that you go. Myself and Lindy are working on a journey at the moment called #AFM. So we're working on something like that, but our journey and our personal branding between myself and Lindy from a business point of view is different to our journey and our branded representation of GPG, the Global Partners Group in Jeunesse. And I think that's a big thing to understand is your personal branding and who you're trying to attract is very different to the branding of your company and who you are physically representing. I think what makes it also so important is what makes you stand out. A few points that I want to share with you. So I'm going to round it up quickly. Just one of the few things that she had actually pointed out is stay true to yourself. Follow your passion and money will follow you. Be genuine. Do the best you can at all times. And I think that's a very, very important point. Never stop learning. Ask, ask, ask. And that's something that Paula said and Lindy said in her piece. Be humble. We've all got a different journey. We've all got a story. Stop using excuses. Be humble. Do something that makes you humble. Surround yourself with people who are willing to get their hands dirty. So like Lindy says, we've got this accountability partner. I know that I can phone Lindy and she'll get her hands dirty with me and we can go through the good times and the bad times. And I think that's very important. So what I want to close off with is to say, people work with people that they like. Make sure when you're branding yourself out on social media that you are not doing so much that people are confused at what you're actually doing. And I see lots of people, lots of friends, they do this journey and that journey, and then they're selling this and then they're selling that. Nobody will approach them in this business because they don't know what they're actually selling. We call ourselves the gypsies that kind of are free-spirited and we work around everything. But you know what the thing is? That is not a personal brand. You need to find a niche market. We've got a company doing amazing products. So when you are approaching people, you have one niche market to approach with. We're not selling 400 products. We're selling health and wellness, stem cell technology. We've got a niche brand that we work with. And I think if people see that that's the brand and the type of business you are in, they will approach you. When you are trying to sell too much and brand yourself with so many things, it becomes confusing. And the last thing I want to say is people are always watching. Don't forget that. So when you're out there, just know that people are always watching what you're doing. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much, Malcolm. I've kept it short and sweet and compressed like you asked me.
Absolutely fantastic. But I'm not going to let you both get away right now without going through some of the stuff that you've covered. I think, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to look at these two ladies, a couple of ladies we call, not quite a couple, but the ladies. They're in different lines and they work with something called an accountability partner. So they're not in the same team as such. They're part of a large organization, GPG. They're part of the South African group, but they're accountability partners. What does that mean? Basically, they formed a friendship to say, we're walking this path together, and I want you to lift me up when I'm down, and I'll do the same for you. I'll share with you my love and my knowledge. I'll share with you everything I can to help you to succeed. And in the process, I will succeed myself. I think that is so fantastic. It's one of the most amazing things that I've seen of the two of you working together. Secondly, if you remember what was said earlier on by Lindy, she said it's a 3 to 5 year plan. I don't think we spent enough time when someone joins us to explain to people this is a real business. This business has been around for 8 years. We're the fastest growing company in our market sector in the history of mankind. No question about it. We did 1.1 billion in year 6, and only 5 other companies have done that in the first 7 years. Apple, Amazon, Facebook, eBay, etc. We know that. But the problem is people have a problem, which is they have a tried mentality. I mentioned one of my calls, Eric Waugh talks about, you're looking for the poser or you're looking for the trier. I can't remember the exact words, but go and check out some of that information. We're looking for serious people. And I think when we've talked to people, which I think most of us, I'm not doing it. I know sometimes I don't do it. I'm so hyped up. I go there, I close them down. They're ready to start. I don't spend enough time with that person. And I've changed that radically. The people in Jordan have seen that recently. I sit down with the person. What do you want out of this? What do you see this? This is a vehicle. What do you want? How much time can you put in? And I want to ask them many, many questions to make them know. You see, it comes down to they like me, they respect me, they trust me, they want to do business with me. Very, very important. 3 to 5 years. I think we should be talking to people about that. In the Amway Corporation, when we started, Paula will tell you, we always said this is a 3 to 5 year plan. That's how we started. It takes 3 to 5 years to do most things. Accountants, solicitors, dentists, doctors, even someone who changes your tires needs an education and a growth curve to get started. This is a serious business. We've got to teach people to say to them, we're going to give you all the tools. Everything is here. It's all proven. There is no question this business works. The question is, what's going to motivate you to work it? We're here to support you. We're here to help you. And I think it's very, very important. Great, great material from two wonderful. I love these two ladies, really do. We've never really met. I've met up with Sharon. I've never met Lindy as yet. And she's in for a real shock when we do meet. So that gives you an idea. My next guest is someone who I have met. I have enormous respect for this young lady. She's someone that I've seen years when she comes on these calls. Over 2 years, nearly 2 years now, that's how fast time has flown. Every Sunday, I can count totally on my partner in crime on these calls. And I have a few of them that I can call on. And one of them is this fantastic lady. No background. Again, I've got to remind you, Lindy and Sharon, no background in this industry. Both sapphires building a phenomenal business. They fall down, but they both stand together. And like the old samurai saying goes, fall 7 times, stand up 8. My next guest is someone I'm very, very fond of because she's a great trainer. She gives people great information. This is the great thing about GPG and what we do here. We all share this information so everybody can benefit from it. TEAM, together, everyone achieves more. And you're not going to get any better information than the panel I've had today, but Andriani stands out because she's there almost every week. And she's going to share with you, it's not your sponsor's job. Fantastic subject from a fantastic lady. I ask you all to take a lot of notes. Andriani calling in from Nicosia in Cyprus.
Good evening, Malcolm. My God, every time you mention me, I think I'm becoming red. Thank you. I want to start a little bit different with a question. Can we all realize how blessed we are that we are part of GPG? Every time I listen to Paula and Kathy speaking, I don't want anything else, really. We are all blessed. And the two ladies, Lindy and Sharon, oh my God, all the information. So you don't need to know a lot of things to go and speak. Just share your personal achievements, information, things that you do. Just share it with all the people. And a lot of times we start our trainings on how, as sponsors, need to treat the people we enroll. We have a lot of manuals, a lot of trainings taught us how to bring new people in and what to show them, how to show them the way so they can build their own business. But sometimes people think that their sponsor is their PA, their personal assistant. So I think it's time for us to realize what is our job and not our sponsor's job. I'm blessed because I have as a sponsor Rolando's, but he showed me everything I know, but he will never do some things for me because it's not his job. And I will go with 1, 2, 3 until 11 points. I could say 100 points, but I will stay with 11 points tonight. So your sponsor is not responsible. It's not his job to do your list. It's your sponsor's job to explain you what list is and why you need it. But it's not your sponsor's job to sit down with you 4 or 5 hours until you write down all the people from your phone or from your email or from your Facebook. It's your job to do that. Number 2, it's not your sponsor job to make the phone calls for you or to invite your people. It's your job. And I have seen that. You know, I know that person. Can you just please call him from me? No, it's your job. They are connected with you. Number 3, after a period of time, to make presentations for you. At the beginning, of course, your sponsor will be with you. Of course, you're going to do 2-way or 3-way or big presentations, and you're going to ask your sponsor to be present. But after 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, after 1 year, to ask to your sponsor to make a presentation for you, that means that it's not for you, this type of business. Number 4, to ask your sponsor to set up your smart delivery. Yes, your sponsor will explain to you what smart delivery is and how to set up it. And of course, Jeunesse has a lot of videos explaining back office and everything. And GPG has done a lot of trainings, and our national teams are doing a lot of trainings. But to call your sponsor and say to him, no, I want reserve this month and not a serum. Can you please set up for me this thing? No, it's your job. And at first, you can be with your sponsor on the phone and you will do the setup and your sponsor will be on the line or with you. That's your job. Also, the 5th is not your sponsor's job to remind you that it's time for your smart delivery. Yes, for some clients, we are doing that. But for people, serious people that we want to work with them and build teams to remind them about their auto-ship or their smart delivery, it's not our job. Number 6, to inform about packages and offers. It's not our sponsor job. It's our job to go into our back office every single day and check our shop and check what the new offers are. I know some people in our teams are in some ranks that they have some information from before. Yes, they will inform us. But for the everyday changes, or if a product is out of stock, let's say Nara now it's out of stock, it's not available for us now in Europe. It's not our sponsor job to call us, you know, we don't have Nara. It's my job. Number 7, to remind us about webinars and calls that are established. I will not wait from Rolando's to call me and say to me, you know, it's Sunday, we have Malcolm's call tonight. Or it's Monday, you have the GPG call. No, it's my job to know that if my sponsor even once told me that. And because when we sign up someone, we plug them into the system, to the GPG's group, to Jeunesse's pages. So if you post something, I will see it. Why should I wait for my sponsor to call me? Number 8, to inform you about company's events. It's our job to go into our calendar in our back office and check all the events. All kind of events is in that back office, in that event calendar. You can check everything. It's not our sponsor's job to do signups for us, except if we have something else running up and we just ask for a favor. Yes, I've called Rolando's sometimes and I ask him, I'll send you the details, please proceed with that sign up because I have this and this now. And this sign-ups has to be done now. Yes, but calling him every day, you know, I have this person, can you sign them up for me? I don't know how to sign up people. This is not our sponsor job. It's not our sponsor job to teach us the products. Yes, they will present us the products, They will explain us the product as users. But if we really want to learn the products, let's go into Longevity TV. Dr. Amzalak is doing magnificent work for us. So it's also translated in a lot of languages. If you really want to know the product, go into Longevity TV. It's not our sponsored job to deal with things of help desk. We have the help desk in our back office. And if we want something to be done, something to ask, or something's going wrong, we should submit a ticket, or we should call to the customer service. If now we don't speak a language that's available to the customer service, there, yes, we will ask for help. Or if it's an issue that cannot be done from the help desk, yes, there we will ask for help. And I don't want to be misunderstood. Sponsors have a lot of obligations with new people because they bring them in and they have to show them the way. But we have a lot of people to look after as sponsors. So we need to be treated also as business partners and not, as I said before, PAs. So at the end of the day, it's not your sponsor's job or business, it's your business. Malcolm, thank you very much. Back to you.
Fantastic. I was just waiting for you to mention about customer service agent, and you made that point 11. It's so brilliant because I just want to share with you, I think people, they think that as we go up in the rank, for example, Emerald Director, Diamond Director, Ruby Director, we are there to try and support our organizations. We're there to try and firefight and help people out. But I put a call out to everybody listening to this call. When people join, the first thing they need to do is to learn their back office, and you want to show them where the customer services help desk is. Because, if you've got a team of 3,000, 5,000, 9,000, 15,000, 100,000, 400,000, like some of the people in our organizations have, it is impossible for you to be a customer services agent. What we need to do is all of us to pass it up is when you have gone to customer services, you've had a challenge, you've really tried, then you pass it up to the next person up who will try and help you out. So that's really wonderful. Some other news I'd like to share with you, if I can, is Arabic translations. People have been asking me about that. So we've had the go-ahead from Kyle. He's in charge of the region, and they'll be in the pipeline very shortly. We're looking for translators right now. I'm very, very excited about that. So I'm looking right now for some translators to help us with the Arabic language. And Paula was saying earlier, Malcolm, you pick these places that are really crazy, but it's a very, very exciting marketplace. And I know a lot of people will benefit from it. The points that have been mentioned here are important. I'm going to, before I bring my last couple of guests on, just make sure that you understand. This is your business. If you had spent £100,000 to start in Jeunesse, how would you be? How many hours per day would you put in? If you had to go to the bank and you had to borrow and pay back over 10 years the money that you needed to start this business, how would you be? What would you do on a daily basis? Would you remember appointments on a piece of cigarette paper or forget to call people up and you're not sure what you had to do? How would you be? Why is it when you have a job, being the jackass of a boss, just over broke at the end of every single month, you can get up at 5:30 in the morning, get in the car at 6:30, be there with people you hate, the boss that you hate, do the same routine nonsense, no one's really happy around you, and make sure that you do that for 40 years of your life? How is it when it's your own business, just because you pay 200 or 600 or 1,500, that you decide to put your arms back and take it easy because you're a businessman now? Now and again, go on Facebook, post a few things, run around, talk a lot, but action talks and BS walks in my book. I'm saying that because I think more and more, as we develop our training for people that are joining us in different countries, we've got to tell people it's a real business. People are earning 500 a week, 1,000 a week, 5,000, 50,000, 100,000 plus per week. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So I think they're great, great points that you brought up there. My next guest is Andrea and his partner. And it's always wonderful to have him online. I call him brother. People say to me, why do you call people brother? Because really, we're the same family. We work together on these calls at the weekend. We don't get any financial benefit. We're not paid a fee to do this. We do it because we love what we do. We love sharing the information because together, everyone achieves more. And a great trainer, fantastic individual who's built a solid team, the envy of jeunesse in Europe, Rolandos, my next speaker, Sapphire Elite, calling in from Nicosia. And he's going to talk to you about how to eliminate fear and how to use it in your advantage, or use it for your advantage. Rolandos calling in from Nicosia in Cyprus.
Thank you, Malcolm. What can I say here now? You started off with Paula, and I'm like, oh, how do you top that? Then I realized you don't. You just learn. It's not a competition. And the rest of the guys, absolutely amazing stories in the making. And that's what's so pure about network marketing and about this call. There are people sharing their real life stories. There are some of us who've been in the business for eons. We don't count the years anymore. And we've learned a lot from a lot of people, and we like to share it. But then there's the true blue people, like the guys from South Africa, who are just sharing a life story. And that's just inspiring. So that being said, you know, people aren't starting in our business. I mean, they're not making. They're thinking, they're pondering, they're strategizing, they're debating, but they're not starting. And why is that? And for me, everybody who's ever said no to me, I actually sat down and wrote the reasons they gave me. And it boils down to one thing. By the way, you have a lot more to learn from the no than you do from the yes when you're doing a presentation. That alone deserves going and getting the presentation done. And here's what I learned. One word: fear. And people through the times have created an acronym out of it. They said it's false evidence appearing real, face everything and rise, etc., etc. And that's all right, but that's just a dictionary or a Wikipedia definition, if you want. What I've come to understand is that fear is nothing more than you or me predicting a bad outcome about something we're about to do. We don't know. Is it going to work? Is it not? Is this person going to sign up? Are they not? What if they tell me it's a pyramid? It's all predicting a bad outcome because we do not know. If we knew this person is going to say no, we would say, I just won't go to the presentation. If we knew the next person is going to say yes, we would definitely go to the presentation, right? So if you know, you're not afraid. You would decide yes or no without hesitation or fear. So how do you beat this thing called fear? Well, it's been said, educate yourself so much about two things: about your subject matter, which is network marketing, and within that, jeunesse and its products, that you become the authority on the subject. When you speak, people listen, which gets me to number 2. Divorce the outcome and marry the process. Do not worry about the end result. And may I suggest here an alternative? Don't look in the mirror. It's not about you. The presentation is about presenting the facts, the evidence, the results, and allowing another human being to make their own decision about whether to join or not. And here's the thing. You educate yourself by what all the guys here on this call said. You go to the webinar, to the conferences, you watch the webinars, you watch Longevity TV, etc. But that won't happen before you start. This will happen when you get your face beat in, and excuse my language, on a number of times, getting rejected, and realizing from the no what you need to improve on for the next presentation. Trust me, there is no better network marketing university than the no. because that's where you realize what you need to learn. Through this, the third thing you need to do to destroy fear is, of course, stay the course, but create something so amazingly fulfilling. And I'm not talking about a zillion people on your team, just the love of doing it, for the love of the game, as the movie says. Create something so amazingly fulfilling that retirement doesn't have to be a dream, because your career already is. That is what it's all about. I would do this job for free. That's how much I love it. That's how amazing and full of life it makes me feel. I don't have to make a dime. Mind you, I do. And I have. And I will. A lot more. Because if you build it, they will come, like Kevin Costner said in the movie. So, and on this, when I say stay the course, two names pop into my mind. Lionel Messi, who is an amazing football player, and a singer, Ed Sheeran. Both of them grew up or were born with severe illnesses. Lionel Messi was never supposed to grow over 3 feet tall. And people called him an overnight success when he debuted with Barcelona, and he's making 35, 40 million a year now. And Lionel Messi said, it took me exactly 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success. 17 years of going to the football field first and leaving last. 17 years of falling and bleeding and playing on twisted ankles and dislocated shoulders, so I can prove that I'm ready to play for Barcelona, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. And Ed Sheeran, boy, did he have a fear. Do you know, he was born with an apple-sized stain, like port wine stain on his face that he had to have lasered off. He was bullied in school. And one day, when he was getting it removed with laser, and he was afraid of it, they forgot to give him the anesthetic. And since that day, he developed a stutter. People told him, you would never become a singer. He was afraid to sing. He was afraid to talk, until he started reading about what the stutter was and what singing can do for another human being. Here is where I would like you to pay attention. It's not about you. Stop looking in the mirror. It's about enriching the life of someone else through sharing information. And as one of my old mentors used to say, amateurs sell, professionals sort. And here's actually one little thing you can do when you're setting up your presentation. I can give you many because I was taught by very, very good people in this business. But the one that really stands out for me, when you're setting up your presentation, just say this. You know, I'm going to show you something. You're probably going to like it a lot. It's probably going to make a lot of sense to you. That's why I picked you. But here's the deal. It makes absolutely no difference to me. Here's why. I'm going to show this to 500 people. And my only concern, the real job, the real gist of network marketing is to sort the yeses from the no's. That's number one. And number two, develop the yeses and learn from the no's. So whatever you decide today, you're going to do me a world of good. So thank you, and I'm buying the coffee. So here, I'm just going to remind you this. Whatever it takes, divorce your association with the result. This by itself will kill off fear. And I'm going to tell you something, and I really want you to let it sink in. You are more than enough. Paula was just spot on perfect. And who am I to say that, right? She always is. But she said, ignorance on fire is much better than knowledge on ice. You are, let it sink in your heads. I'm going to say it again. You are more than enough. The minute you sign up. So go out there, press play, show the business, and screw fear. Back to you, Malcolm.
That was sensational. I can't wait to watch the movie again, the video again, because Rolando's, that was absolutely extraordinary. And I think that a lot of people can get a lot of great information from your section. I really, really applaud you. That was excellent contribution in your part. I have another guest who's just joined us right now because I want to cover some of Rolando's work before the end of the call, which I will do shortly. But my next guest, I contacted him today. That's what I like about GPG and the group that we've got. We've all become very close friends, and we share the same dream. We walk the same path, and we meet each other on a regular basis at events. And this young man is quite extraordinary. He is very, very rare individual in the world of network marketing, in my opinion. A fantastic trainer, very, very qualified to be a personal development coach. He's been a tennis star, I believe. He's tall enough to be anything, basically. He makes me look like a midget since we met him. I'm very proud and privileged to have contacted someone today and said, listen, I'd like you on the call. And I told him Paula's on. He said, great, I'm on. He's at dinner. He's just come out of dinner right now. My next guest is someone who's responsible single-handedly, really, for opening up the South African marketplace. He came on board. He could have had every excuse of why it's not going to work. He was put on the inside leg of David Crockett's mother's, aunties, brother-in-laws, dog walkers, inside leg. And he's gone out and he's built a phenomenal business. All the people that we know of that come on these calls have come through the recruitment activities initially started off by this next gentleman, Ruby Director, Oliver Grimley, who's calling in from South Africa. I certainly hope he's there. Oliver, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I certainly can, Oliver. Great to have you online.
Cool. I'm just being I'm in the car.
Okay. Just very quickly, Oliver, he's going to talk to you about investing in yourself. You can't find anybody better than someone in his car right now, Ruby Director, invest in yourself and momentum, calling from South Africa. Listen carefully to what he's got to say. Oliver.
If the signal's bad, let me know, and I'll just turn my video off, Malcolm.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for putting the and I mean, this is a live example of investing in yourself. Everyone who's on this call tonight is doing just that. You're investing in yourself. We're jumping on this evening. And it's awesome to have Paula and all of you leaders on Rolando's. I always love your content as well. So thanks. So yeah, investing in yourself, I've always been told is the best investment you can make. I really do believe that, but it's not. You have to actually act on it. You have to live it, right? I'll never forget when I was about 16, I went to a small business seminar and they showed us how the app spends their income. And they actually broke it down into percentages. And they showed you that most people, if $1 million, what would the first thing they do with that money be? And the first thing everyone really does is start to
Oliver,
the house that they would buy.
Oliver, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just to make it a lot smoother, we've seen your beautiful face, our Ruby Director. I think it's going to be a lot clearer if we can just get you on sound because we're getting a breakage in your signal.
Okay, cool. So can you hear me now?
Fantastic. Thank you, Oliver.
Okay, great. Audio. So as I was saying, Malcolm, I went to a seminar when I was about 16. Was saying that most people spend or start to think about.
Oh dear.
Into 2 million, turn into 3 million, turn into 4 million. So it's a consumer versus an investment mentality. And they showed you that the wealthiest people in the world spend between anywhere from 10% of their income, whatever they make a month or more, on themselves. And I thought that was fascinating. So in other words, if you make $10,000 a month, you should be taking 10% of that and putting that towards your self-development every month, right? So if you make $100,000 a month, you should be taking 10,000 and putting that towards your self-development. That's just the theory, basically, right? So I started applying that immediately when I was about 16 years old. One of my mentors, Peter, says knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. It's a very simple statement, but it's very, very true. We all actually if we had to be psychologists to ourselves, we would know exactly how to fix ourselves, but we just don't seem to do it for our own selves, right? So it's kind of the irony in it. You've just got to actually apply it. And I mean, the tools that we offer as the Global Partners Group are just so vast, and I think the biggest reason why a lot of people don't apply this in network marketing is because the stuff is free. And that actually, it's awesome, but it's also the biggest weakness, because people just don't, unfortunately, value what they don't pay for. They don't put a value on it because they think, oh, well, if it's free, it must not be worth anything. But I can tell you right now, I've received more value from network marketing than I have in the 4 years I spent in college, times 10. It's taught me more about business, leadership, personal growth than anything I would have spent money on, right? So this is, as Jim Rohn said, I think the best self-development tool disguised as a business opportunity. And that's network marketing. And the real gift is who you become on this journey towards, whatever rank it is that you want to achieve. That's the biggest gift, right? The diamond is inside all of us. So a lot of us are rough diamonds and we're busy polishing ourselves. I'm definitely a very rough diamond, and Paula and Malcolm and everyone's really helping to shine me here. So, that's the one thing I think I just have on my side, is I'm just always willing to learn. I'm always open-minded to new information. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be something I apply, but I'm willing to hear everyone's side. And I think because I haven't been closed off to opportunities, I've managed to capitalize on a few, and that's really been my secret. So, the one thing we have is that we're really starting to push now in Africa again in a huge way is Momentum. And I had a chat with Paula about it about a week ago, and it's an amazing tool. Think about it. Everyone has a phone in their hand. Everyone in the world has got a mobile phone. So this is the best way to train people on a mass scale and do it in a very, very sort of effective, timely manner. And what I do is I tell people or I ask people when they join, I say, listen, let me know how serious you are, because sometimes what we do is we ourselves are so serious that we forget to take the time to actually first find out if the person that we've recruited even has the same ambitions or goals as you do. Maybe they don't want to be pushed and they just want to use the product. Then you don't want to waste your energy really trying to get them and push them. Say to them, listen, how serious are you? Do you want to go Sapphire, or do you want to go Elite, or do you want to go Ruby, or do you want to go all the way and go Diamond? And then make sure that they understand that if they want to go Diamond, they need to do X, Y, and Z. You can't just go through fast start training on Momentum and expect to go Diamond. You need to go through fast start, intermediate, and advanced, and you need to do it 5 times. It's like that simple. If you're not willing to pay the price, you're not going to get the Maserati, right? You can't pay $10,000 for a Maserati. You're going to get a little bicycle. So you need to know that success comes with the price, and you've got to put in the time. And the time that you put in is so much less than it would be for any other career, right? There's no career in the world I know where you can put in the time you put in and get the reward that you would get with this industry and this business for any other business. I mean, think about it. Like, to be a doctor, you've got to study for 10 years and you don't even have a chance really of making a passive income where you have of a diamond director with the time freedom and the lifestyle. It won't even happen. So it's just an amazing, amazing career. But you got to just tell people, I tell people, if you're serious about this, you need to be on Momentum. And I actually go as far as saying, until you've gone through the fast start minimum, ideally intermediate and advanced, I'm actually not willing to sit down and spend an hour answering your questions, because you're going to save us both a lot of time by first going through that app and you showing me that it's a 50-50 relationship. You put in some time on your side, I will put in some time on my side. So that way we both meeting each other halfway. And they're showing me with their actions how serious they are, not just talking the talk, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to build this business, but then they don't do anything. They don't even sign up one person. So I just, I learned that from Paula. Stay emotionally detached and just watch what people do. Don't watch what they say. The ones that actually want it, are going to be the ones that are texting you, asking for help, taking action, doing the Momentum, you know, not worrying, oh, it's $4. How can you spend $4 a month? I mean, it's crazy. $4 a month, it's a McDonald's Happy Meal, or $10 a month in America, it's a Starbucks. Like, how much value do you place on your business if you can't even put $10 into it? What do you expect to get out if you can't put even $10 in? So you got to just shift that mindset to one of an investor mentality, not a consumer mentality. What you put into this and what you put into yourself, the entrepreneur in the business is going to determine what happens, right? It's never the business, it's the entrepreneur in the business. Jeunesse works, period. 300 plus people have proved that and hit diamond in just the last 8 years. So it's not a matter of, you know, will it work? Can it work? You know, maybe this, that, my cat died, or this. I mean, I've heard so many excuses. The reality is your mind will always justify. Can write that down. The mind will always justify. It's brilliant at that. That's its job. It's its job to look and to figure out and to say that, you know, to find a way. And it will always find an amazing reason why not to do something. It will always find the best story you could ever imagine, right? The reality is that it's still a story. It's still an excuse, no matter how good it is. At the end of the day, you've just got to say, I'm going to do it. You know, and that's why Nike is my favorite brand. My mom sometimes reminds me, she says, just bloody do it and shut up. So then I just go out there and I just do it. And really, I think that's what I do. I fail forward, and I'm not perfect by any means, but we have some great leaders. And I know that if I just keep acting and keep staying open-minded and keep being on calls and keep investing in myself, I can only go one way, and that is forward. So thank you, Malcolm.
Fantastic contribution. You know, I was going to try and wind all this up, but how do you do that? I'm sitting here with bits of paper everywhere on my table here with just incredible notes. And, you know, it's so important to try and understand what a fantastic group of individuals we've got in this organization. People from all walks of life who've never done this kind of work before, coming here freely on a Sunday, sharing priceless information. I'm sure Paula will tell you, you know, as a seminar organizer, I had two companies I ran. We used to charge $3,000 to $5,000 a seat for 3 days of information, and most of it was extremely boring and what we call fluff. So you had a little nugget here and there, so they have to come back for the next one to get it all. And on Sundays, we get this absolutely quality information. I'm sure Paula Ardan will agree, absolutely priceless information. And I think this is one of our, you know, I always say every Sunday, a vintage call. So I'm going to wind up by, first of all, thanking my guests who have joined us from around the world. We'd like to thank, if I can, first, Paula Pritchard, who's joined us from Florida. Absolutely fantastic to have online. I know everyone here is always really excited to have Paula online. We've got Lindy, who's called in from South Africa. I want you all to remember, Lindy's really got no background in this industry, and every excuse you can think of she could make. She's a housewife, and she's got children, young children, and she comes out here and she's building a great business. We got, sorry, Sharon there. I'm talking away. Look, I really need to get my eyes fixed. We got Sharon there. I was talking about Sharon that we're talking about, who's got children, and a fantastic contribution that you've made tonight. Lindy, of course, I'm talking about, she's on my mind. I think she's absolutely fabulous. I just love watching these people grow with us. She's come on these calls gently. The information is always on point. She stays on point, makes sure that we get quality information. And of course, we've got fantastic speakers like Andriani and Rolando. So they are really Class A, platinum level. And today, I mean, every week I love what you guys do, but today, I've got to say, sir, that you had some superb information. Then I've got pieces of paper, look, everywhere on my desk, and I'm going to be tidying it all up and making notes, and it's so wonderful to share with you. Thank you so much, Andriani. You're like a sister to me, and Rolando as well. And last but not least, he's in his car right now. Oliver, he's our Ruby director, young man. He's not even hit 30 from what I gather, and he's about to become an emerald. I'm quite confident of that. It is my pleasure and my privilege to wind this call up by saying thank you very much for joining us. We've got another call next week, and I think it's important. The last words you should hear is about Momentum. Momentum is back right now. Go upline to the people that brought you on this call. They'll tell you about it. There is no other training system like it. You heard Kerry Dean jumping up and down, one of our emeralds, saying, I can't wait to show you this new recruitment system. So thank you all. What more can I say? Fabulous, fabulous call. You can watch it on YouTube. It's Malcolm Peters saying good night on the 18th of March, 2018. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday. GPG call. Good night, everybody.